Okay, row space, column space, null space, rank and nullity. Okay, when you are given a matrix, okay, for this type of question, when you are given a matrix, try to reduce the matrix into REF form. Okay, into REF form. Reduce, what is REF? Reduce echelon form. So macam ni lah bentuk dia. Okay, 3 entries below here 0 0 0. This is if you have 3 by 3 matrix. Ni contoh lah. Okay, again, for this type of question, when you are given a matrix, any matrix, try to reduce the matrix into REF form. Okay, something like this. So for the following matrix, find a basis for the row space of A, a basis for the column space of A, a basis for the null space of A, and rank and nullity of A. Okay, let's say this is matrix A. So we have a matrix A, 1, 3, negative 2, 5. So kita nak tukar dia, we will try to reduce this matrix into REF form. Okay, first entry kat sini dah memang 1. So okay, kita nak tukar yang ni, negative 2, nak jadikan kosong. So we want to change the second row. And the operation that we can use is R2 plus 2R1. Okay, R1 remain the same because we only want to change R2. R2 plus 2R1. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. So 2 plus negative 2, we get 0. 3 multiplied 2, 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. Okay, and then we want to change 11 into 1. So again, change row 2. How to change 11 into 1? 1 over 11 multiplied by row 2. So 1, 3, okay, 0 multiplied by anything will still 0. 11 multiplied by 1 over 11 is 1. Okay, kita dah berjaya tukar. So now the entries are 1, 3, 0, 1. Okay, we can answer the first question. Row space. Of A. Look at the leading one for each row. So in this matrix we have 2 rows. Row 1, row 1 and row 2. Okay, look at the leading one for each row. Okay, first row kat sini ada leading one, ada 1. Second row pun ada 1. So our row space is row 1 and also row 2. Okay, sebab dua-dua row pun ada 1. B. B for column space. Okay, just like row space we look at each row. Now we look at each column. So this is column 1 and this is column 2. Column 1 ada 1, column 2 pun ada 1. Okay, so both are column space. Okay, untuk column kita tulis dalam bentuk column lah. 1, 0 first column and 3, 1 for the second column. C. Null space. Null space is when the matrix multiplied by x equal to 0. So our matrix here 1, 3, 0, 1. We can multiply by x, y. We can use xy or you can use x1, x2, and this should equal to 0, 0. Change into equation. So from the first row, 1 multiplied by x, 3 multiplied by y, we get x. plus 3y, and this will equal to 0. First equation. Second equation, 0 multiplied by x, so 0. 1 multiplied by y, so as for the second equation, we only have y equal 0. And since y equals 0, we can substitute back into the first equation, and we will get x also equal 0. Okay, again, this is the first equation, x plus 3y equals 0. Second equation, straight away we get y equals 0. Substitute back into the first equation. If y is 0, then automatically x also will equal to 0. So our null space is 0, 0. D. Rank and nullity. Rank. Rank of matrix A. Rank is the dimension of row space or the column space. Size. Okay, rank adalah size untuk row space ataupun column space. So look at our row space. We have 1, 2. Okay, ada 2 dimension. Column space we have 1, 2. Also 2. So 2 in row space and 2 in column space. So rank A equal 2. And one more, the nullity. Nullity of matrix A. If rank is the dimension of row space and column space, nullity is the dimension of null space. But here, it's 0. Okay, let's proceed to the next example. Okay, sama je, soalan yang sama. Kita cuma tukar matrix. So this time, we have 2 by 2 matrix still. But the entries are different. The entries are 2, 4, -3, -6. So kalau tadi first entry dah 1 kan. Let's look back at the previous example. Okay, entry yang pertama dah 1. So kita terus tukar -2. Kita nak jadikan kosong. But this time the first entry is 2. So we have to start with that first. Kita kena tukar dulu 2 ni kepada 1. So how to do that? We want to change row 1. So 1/2 multiplied by row 1. 2 darab 1 per 2, 1. 4 multiplied by 1/2 is 2. Row 2 remains. Okay, so first 2 kita dah dapat jadikan 1. And now we want to change -3. We want to change -3 to become 0. So now we want to change row 2. How can we do that? 3R1 plus R2 or R2 plus 3R1. Okay, either one lah. Kalau if you feel comfortable to put R2 at the front, then it's up to you. Okay. But the motive is clear that we want to change -3 to become 0. So 3 multiplied by 1 plus -3 is 0. 3 multiplied by 2, 6 plus -6 is also 0. So the final matrix is 1, 2, 0, 0. Okay, again we will try to answer the same question. Row space, column space, null space, rank and nullity. Okay, A. Row space. Okay, how many row space do you think is in this matrix?
1.
Okay, how do you know that?
Tak ada leading up tu.
Here, only R1. Kita tengok ni R1, ni R2 kan. Row yang pertama, row yang kedua. Pilih yang ada 1. So only 1 sahaja, R1 sahaja. So our row space is 1, 2. Okay, 1 only. And then B, we want to look for column space. Okay, how many column space?
1 juga ke?
Okay, very good. Which one? Which column? Column 1 or column 2?
1.
Alright, so 1, 0. Because we look for leading 1. Okay, yang ada 1. And then C. C null space. null space of A. Okay, so 1, 2, 0, 0, the matrix multiply by, okay, if earlier we use xy, this time you can use xy or again, or you can use x1, x2, xy equal to 0, 0. Okay, so now it's a little bit different because the second equation is 0, 0. So we only have one equation, which is 1 multiplied by x is x, 2 multiplied by y, so x plus 2y equals 0. Okay, we have nothing from the second row. Sebab ni 0, 0 darab x 0, 0 darab y pun 0. So we only have one equation. Therefore kat sini kita kena guna huruf lain. Okay, let y equal r, and r is a real number. Okay, tak semestinya r, you can use s, you can use t, you can use p, q, any variable that is suitable lah. Okay, y equal r and r is real number. So x plus 2r, sebab y adalah r equal 0, then x will equal to negative 2r. So we change xy in terms of r. Y is r and x is negative 2r. Negative, okay, x adalah negative 2r, y adalah r. Or we can factorize r, so negative 2, 1. Saya lupa nak tulis xy. Okay, sebab ni adalah x and y. X and y equal, x is negative 2r and y is r, or we can factorize r, so negative 2, 1, and r is real number. And then for D, we want to find the rank and nullity. Rank of matrix A. So again, rank is the dimension of row space or column space. So we have one element in row space and one in column space. So rank will equal to 1. And then the nullity, look at null space. Okay, this time we have a value here. So 1, kita ada 1 x sama dengan negatif 2r, y sama dengan r, ataupun ini sama, cuma keluarkan r saja. So we have 1 in null space. So rank is the size or the dimension of row space, column space. Nullity refer to null space. Next example. Okay, still the same question. Normally for this topic, the question is very similar. They will only change the matrix. Dia tukar bentuk matrix sahaja. Okay, so we have one more matrix here. But this time it's 3 by 3 matrix. So the process of getting to REF is a bit longer. Okay, daripada matrix yang diberi, kita kena ubah dulu kepada bentuk REF. So the first entry is already 1. We can proceed to the next one. We want to change negative 1 into 0. So we want to change row 2. What we can use is we can use row 1. So R2 plus R1. Okay, change R2. Nak change row yang kedua sebab nak jadikan kosong. Tambah dengan row 1. Okay, 1 plus negative 1 is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay. Saya nak terus guna ruang yang sama, sebab kalau tak nanti lagi banyak lah kita nak kena tulis kan. So I use the same space here and I want to change to. Okay, tadi kita tukar negatif 1, so this is the operation, and now I want to change this entry to become 0 as well. So we want to change row 3. Nak jadikan 2 ni kosong, what we do is row 3 plus negative 2 multiply by R1. Okay, ataupun kalau tak nak tulis macam ni, you can just write down negative 2 R1 plus R3. Okay, which one is easier? Sometimes students suka tengok, okay, kalau nak ubah R2, R2 dia letak depan. Okay, nak ubah R3, R3 letak depan supaya tak confuse kan. Tapi kalau rasa susah, you can just write it down like this lah. Negative 2 R1 plus R3. Okay, negative 2 multiply by 1 is negative 2. Plus 2, we get 0. So, we achieve our aim. Okay, kita nak jadikan 2 ni kosong. And then, continue. Negative 2 multiply 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is still 2. Negative 2 multiply by 3 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 0, negative 6. Ni tadi 5. Okay. First row remain the same. Rasanya next kita nak kena tukar entry yang mana satu? Which entry should we change next?
Row 3.
Yes. Okay, we want to change 2 to become 0. So change row 3. We can use the second row. Negative 2 R2 plus R3. 0, 0 is still 0. Okay, negative 2 plus 2, 0. And then negative 10 plus negative 6. Negative 10 plus negative 6 is negative 16. Okay, only one more entry. This time, let's change negative 16. So again, R3. Negative 1 over 16 multiplied by R3. 103, 015, 0 is still 0. So negative 16 multiplied by negative 1 over 16 is 1. Okay, we achieve REF, so we can continue to answer the question. First question for row space. Row space of A. So look for row with leading 1, R1, R2, and R3. Okay, how many rows do you think?
3.
3. Okay, all row R1, R2, and R3. Ada satu, ada satu, ada satu. So we have 3. 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 5, and 0, 0, 1. Okay, proceed to B. This time we look for column space. Okay, C1, C2, and C3 all have leading 1. So we also have 3. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and the last one is 3, 5, 1. C, okay, C for null space. Okay, we can take the matrix 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 5, 0, 0, 1. Okay, let's say this time we use x1, x2, x3 equal to 0, 0, 0. Change into equation. So 103 multiply x1, x2, x3. We have x1 plus 3x3 equal 0. From the second equation, we have x2 and x3. So x2 plus 5x3 equals 0. And from the last equation, we have only x3. x3 equal 0. Ni typo. Ni tadi apa? x2. Okay. Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. Okay, when we substitute equation 3 into equation 2, because x3 equals 0, okay, equation 2. Substitute into equation 2, x2 plus 0 equals 0. Because x3 is 0, then automatically x2 also equal 0. And same goes when we substitute equation 3 into equation 1. x1 plus 3x3. So x1 plus 0 equals 0. Automatically x1 also equal to 0. So the null space is 0, 0, 0. D. Rank of A. Rank of matrix A is the dimension of row space and column space. This time we have 3. 1, 2, 3 in row space and 1, 2, 3 in column space. So the rank is 3. Nullity. Nullity, look at null space tapi kosong. So kosong. Okay, next example, also 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, this is example 4. 3 by 3 matrix. We need to reduce the matrix into REF first. So let's start with this entry sebab dia bukan 1. Okay, kita kena jadikan the first entry ni 1 terlebih dahulu. Kalau memang dah 1, baru boleh proceed jadikan 0, 0. If not, okay, change the first entry dulu, jadikan 1. So we want to change row 1. You can use row 2 or row 3. Mana-mana pun boleh. And I choose row 1. I choose row 2. Okay, row 1 and row 2. So row 1 plus negative row 2. To change row 1. Negative 2. Negative 2 lah kan?
Satu lah.
Kalau tukar row saja tak boleh.
Tukar row. Boleh, boleh. Boleh juga kalau awak nak exchange. Maksudnya bawa row 1 naik atas, row 2 naik atas atau row 3 naik atas kan? Boleh. So nak exchange tu kita ambil row, katalah R1, exchange with R3. So 1, negative 3, 8, 1, 2, negative 5, 2, negative 1, 3. Okay, now 1, change R2, R2 plus negative R1. 1 minus 1, 0. 2 minus negative 3, 5. Negative 5 minus 8. Negative 13. We also want to change this entry into 0. So row 3, R3 plus negative 2 R1. Two minus 2 is 0. Okay, and then negative 1 minus 2 multiplied by negative 3. So we get 5. And then 3. 3 negative 2 multiplied by 8. And we get negative 13. The first row did not change. Okay, change row 3. Kita nak yang ni. So R3 plus negative R2. 1, negative 3, 8. 0, 5, negative 13. Ini akan jadi 0, 0, 0. Ni boleh jadi 1. So R2 1 over 5 multiplied by R2. 1, negative 3, 8, 0, 1, negative 3, or negative 13, sorry, negative 13 over 5, and ni still 0, 0, 0. Okay. So A, row space. Row space, we have 2. Row. 1, 2. Okay, sama jugalah 2. The first one is 1. Negative 3, 8. And also 0, 1, negative 13 over 5. And then B, column space. Column space 1 and 2. So we have 2. 1, 0, 0. And also negative 3, 1, 0. And then C, the null space. Okay, let's take back our matrix. 1, negative 3, 8, 0, 1, negative 13 over 5, 0, 0, 0. Multiply by x, y, z. And this should equal to 0, 0, 0. Okay, let's change into equation. First equation, x minus 3y plus 8z equals 0. Second equation, y minus 13 over 5z equals 0. And the third equation, oh no, we have nothing from the third equation because all the entries are 0. Okay, so again, because we have 2 variable in second equation, 3 variable in the first equation, we need to introduce one more. Here we can use R. Let's say I choose Z. Let Z equal R, and R is a real number. So Y equal 13 over 5R. Okay, because now Z is R. And then substitute both into the first equation. So x minus 3, this time Y is 13 over 5R plus 8z, and our z is R, equal 0. Therefore x equal 3 dengan 5 tak boleh potong, 39 over 5R minus 8R. If we simplify 39 over 5 minus 8, we will get 1 over 5, negative 1 over 5. So x is negative R over 5. Mana saya nak sambung? So basis of null space for A is negative 1 over 5 from x, from y 13 over 5, and then z is 1. Okay, ataupun kalau tulis null space tadi, kita boleh tulis x, y, z. X, y, z is equal to x negative r over 5, y 13 over 5R, Z is R, also equal to, when you factorize R, negative 1 over 5, 13 over 5 and 1, which is the basis. And R is real number. Okay, kalau basis, kita ambil dia punya nombor saja. So, negative 1 over 5, 13 over 5, 1. Tapi kalau macam ni, kita boleh letaklah X, Y, Z. If you want to write down the null space, so this one is with R, this one is when we factorize R, and R is real number. And the last one, D, rank. Rank of matrix A. Rank, look at the size or the dimension of row space and column space. So we have 2. And then the nullity of matrix A. Sekarang kita ada 1 lah. Okay. Basis of null space, negative 1 over 5, 13 over 5 and 1. So we have 1. Okay, last example. Example 5. We have discussed 4 so far. Okay, this time we are also given a 4. Oh no, this one is 3 by 4. Okay, 3 by 4 matrix. By 4 matrix. We want to reduce this into REF form. Okay, first entry dah 1.
Madam nak tanya.
Okay. Alright, yes.
Can we go back to the previous question?
Okay.
Oh, dia terpadam Oh, ada.
Yang mana? Betul tak?
Untuk null space, kita boleh pilih sama
null space, alright.
ada X, Y, Z ataupun X1, X3.
Betul. Unless specify, we can choose our own. Nak guna X, Y, Z ke? Nak guna, tadi saya guna X1, X2, X3. Boleh. Kalau takut banyak, kadang-kadang kalau ada 4 variable, macam mula-mula tadi saya guna XY. Okay, lepas tu bila ada 3, saya guna XYZ. Kadang-kadang ada 4. Kalau ada 4, awak nak guna apa kan? Nak guna sebelum X apa? DUVW, WXYZ. Kalau nak guna WXYZ pun boleh. Tapi kadang-kadang sebab kita dah susah nak fikir huruf kan, kita letak je. Macam previous one, I use X1, X2, X3. So kalau macam ada 4, we can just use X1, X2, X3, X4. Okay.
Okay, faham. Okay.
Alright, good.
Proceed. Thank you, madam.
Thank you for asking. Okay, so this is the last example for this topic yang row space, column space, null space, nullity, rank. So harapnya betul-betul faham. Nanti soalan test lebih kurang lah macam ni juga, cuma kita akan ubahlah matrix, of course. Okay, so here we have 3 by 4 matrix. Kita nak reduce dulu. InsyaAllah untuk reduce sebenarnya saya yakin awak semua dah boleh buat. Macam topik sebelum ni saya tak tunjuk pun. Tapi sebab nak test, kita anggap je lah ni macam kita buat revision sekali. So kalau saya ada salah pun tolong betulkan saya, okay? Alright, the first entry is already 1. So we want to change this entry. Kita nak jadikan dia kosong. So we want to change row 2, and I want to use row 1. So row 2 plus negative 2 multiplied by row 1. By the way, do you know that we only have 3 operation untuk reduce ni? Tahu ke ada 3 operation je? Walaupun kita tak adalah exactly check satu persatu. Contoh macam ni, kenapa saya tak buat je R2 minus 2 multiplied by R1? Okay, because the operation that we can use is plus, multiplication and exchange. So kita boleh tambah, kita boleh darab, ataupun kita boleh exchange. For example, right here, okay, when I want to change 5 into 1, saya tak tunjuk R2 divide by 5. Tapi sebenarnya sama je lah. Tapi kita buat 1 over 5 multiply by R2. So the operation is multiplication. Walaupun sebenarnya sama. Sama juga macam kalau tambah dan tolak kan. Macam ni. Boleh je tulis R2 minus R1. But since the operation is plus, so kita buatlah plus negative R1. Macam tu. Because supposedly only 3 operation. Plus multiplication and exchange. Okay, R2 plus negative 2 multiply by R1. We want to change R2. 2 minus 2 is 0. 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 we get 2. And then negative 3 minus 0 is still negative 3. Negative 3 minus negative 2. Negative 3 minus negative 2, we get negative 1. Okay, kita teruskan. I want to change this entry 3 also into 0. So we want to change R3. So still we can use the first row. So R3 plus negative 3 multiplied by R1. Because this is 3. So multiply lah negative 3. Tadi kat sini 2 multiply by negative 2. And we will get 3 minus 3 is 0. 10 minus 6. 10 minus 6 is 4. Negative 6 minus 0 is still negative 6. And the last entry, negative 5. Minus 3 multiply negative 1. So negative 5 plus 3. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. Okay, and row 1 still the same. Kita tak tukar lagi. Okay, next. Next, which entry we want to change? Okay. R2. So, ni nak jadikan 1. Nak jadikan 1 ataupun salah. Kita buat 4 dulu lah. Ni jadikan kosong dulu. So we want to change R3. R3 plus negative 2 multiply by R2. So 0, 0 is still 0. Okay, 4 minus 2 multiply by 2. So 0 lah. Negative 4 tolak 4. Ini negatif 6 tambah 6. Negatif 6 tambah 6 pun kosong. Negatif 2 tambah 2 pun kosong. Okey, baru tukar row 2. Okey, row 2 kita nak jadikan ini 1. So 1 over 2 multiply by R2. 0, 1. Negative 3 over 2. Negative 1 over 2. And we can stop now since all the entries from the third row are 0. Okay, let's answer the first question. Row space of A. Okay, how many that we have leading one? Okay, look at row 1, row 2 and row 3. So we have row 1 and row 2. Row 1, the entries are 1, 2, 0, negative 1. And from row 2, 0, 1, negative 3 over 2, negative 1 over 2. Second question is for column space. Column space, look at first column. So we have leading 1. Second column also ada. Third tak ada. Fourth tak ada. So we have 2. Okay, first column 1, 0, 0. And second column 2, 1, 0. C is for null space. Okay, null space of A. Kita ambil semula kita punya matrix. 1, 2, 0, negative 1. 0, 1, negative 3 over 2, negative 1 over 2, and 0, 0, 0, 0. Multiply by, okay, inilah contohnya yang kita ada 4. 4 kan? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can use contohnya you can use W, X, Y, Z, or you can also use X1, X2, X3, X4 equal to 0, 0, 0, 0. First equation yang pertama, X1 plus 2X2 minus X4. Second equation, we don't have X1, we have X2 minus 3 over 2 X3 minus 1 over 2 X4. Both equal 0, and we don't have an equation from the third row because all the entries are 0. Okay, now we have 3 variables in equation 1. We also have 3 variables in equation 2. Okay. Masa ni equation 1, equation 2 ada 3 variable, ada 2 variable. So kita introduce just one more variable, R. Sebab kita nak ubah semua ni in terms of R, supaya boleh tulis kat sini lah. Kalau tak perlu, kalau equation tu mudah macam yang ini, sebab from the third equation we straight away get X3 equals 0. Okay, so we get all zeros. Tak perlu introduce new variable. Okay, but this time for this example, 3 variables for second equation, 3 variables from first equation. So we need to introduce more variable. Okay, kena introduce lagi. Okay, let's say X1 equal to S and X2 equal T. S dan T ni adalah real number. Okay, kita guna S dan T. Kenapa kena guna 2? Sebab kita ada 3 variable ni. Okay, from the first equation. Okay, kita cuba first equation dulu. X1 is, this time X1 akan jadi S plus 2X2 plus 2X. X2 adalah T. Oh sorry, tak perlulah tulis X dah. Okay, again, X1 sekarang adalah S, 2X2. X2 is T, so 2T minus X4 equal 0. So, pindahkan X4. X4 will equal to S plus 2T. Okay, we get this from the first equation. And then from the second equation, okay, we start with X2. So, X2 now is T. T. Minus 3 over 2 X3 minus 3 over 2 X3. X3 apa? Tak ada X3. Okay, kita letak X3 dulu. Minus 1 over 2 X4. Okay, X4 kita dah dapat tadi. X4 is S plus 2T equal 0. So from the second equation we can get X3. Okay, leave X3 on the left, bring everything else to the right. So expand this equation. We get S over 2 plus T minus T. Okay, T sini positif, bawa sebelah jadi negatif lah. Ni 2 dengan 2 potong, tinggal T sahaja. So T minus T kosong. X3 will equal to S over 2. Okay, so our null space, saya rasa tak muat ni. Okay, macam mana kita nak tulis? So we have X1, X2, X3 and X4 equal S plus T, where S and T is element of real number. Okay, kita start dengan X1 dulu. X1, what is X1? X1 is S, so 1S and 0T. And then X2, X2 is T, yes.
So X3 tu negative 3/2 kat mana?
Sorry, negatif mana?
Yang equation nombor 2 tu.
Equation number 2, right? T minus 3/2 X3 minus 1/2 X4. X4 ni kita ambil daripada atas tadi. Ni, X4 equal S plus 2T.
Okay, yang bawah
Okay.
tu macam mana?
Okay, jap. Saya buat balik Ini kita pindahkan. Okay, kalau buat satu persatu, kita tinggalkan negatif 2 X3 dulu. Oh, saya tak pindahkan yang ni tadi. Okey, betul. Itu ke soalan awak? Saya tak pindahkan negatif 3/2. Okey, betul. Awak betul-betul. Terima kasih. So yang saya buat ni betul lah kan, cuma ni. Alright, tak apa, saya buat balik. Ini tadi akan jadi S/2. T dengan T dah habis Tambah T tolak T. Okey. Jadi X3 S/2 darab negatif 2/3. So kita akan dapat negatif 2/3, betul So negatif S/3. Betul tak? Betul? Sama dengan awak?
Sama.
Sama dengan yang awak bayangkan. Masa awak tanya tadi kan awak tahu, oh salah ni. So is it correct?
Boleh lah.
Okay, kita tengok lagi sekali betul-betul supaya tak ada salah lagi. Expand negative 1/2 multiply by S. Okay, negatif bawa ke sebelah jadi positif lah. S/2 betul. Ini darab 2 dengan 2 potong. Jadi T saja bawa sebelah jadi positif. Ini positif bawa sebelah jadi negatif. Okay, T dengan T potong. Okay, tinggallah S/2 ni. Negatif 3/2 X cube equal S/2. And then tinggalkan X3. Negatif 3/2 bawa sebelah. Baik, saya guna kalkulator. Betul tak? 1/2 bahagi negatif 3/2. Negatif 1/3. Betul lah. So negatif S/3. Okay, betul Betul. Ini ada objection? Ada rasa salah lagi kat mana-mana?
Tak.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so let's transform. Okay, semula kita pindahkan. X1 is S. So dekat S ni 1, dekat T kosong. X2 is T. Dekat S ni kosong. Okay, untuk X2, so second row, X2 equal 0S and 1T. Okay, X3. So X3 is negative S/3. So negative 1/3 S. Negative 1/3 S plus 0. And the last one is for X4. X4 is S plus 2T. So untuk X4, 1S plus 2T. Okay, this is our answer untuk null space. And then the last one, D. We want to find rank for A and also the nullity of A. Rank, look at the size of row space and column space. No, the dimension. Okay, dimension dia ada berapa? Ada 1, ada 2, ada 1, ada 2. So 2. Nullity pun ada 2. 2. Sebab kita ada S dan T.
2.
Okay, before we continue with the next one, okay, kita break sekejap.